The drama surrounding Leo Santa Cruz and Rafael Rivera wasn't built overnight. It was forged in the tension of opportunity, the weight of expectation, and the silent understanding that when two fighters from the same fighting culture collide, on a stage this big, there is no room for hesitation. This wasn't just another bout added to a record. It was a proving ground, a test of endurance, and a moment where reputation would meet raw ambition under unforgiving lights. From the very beginning, there was an unmistakable energy in the air. Rivera, stepping into the spotlight in purple trunks, carried the hunger of a man who knew this was his chance to redefine his career. Just weeks earlier, he wasn't even expected to be here. But fate has a way of rewriting narratives in boxing. Across from him stood Santa Cruz, calm and composed in silver and black, a champion who had seen it all, who understood that every challenger brings danger, especially one with nothing to lose. The opening exchanges set the tone immediately. Rivera didn't come in timid or overwhelmed by the moment. Instead, he surprised early, snapping a sharp left hook that cut through Santa Cruz's rhythm and followed it with quick combinations that demanded attention. It was a statement. He was here to fight, not to survive. But Santa Cruz, ever the composed technician, absorbed the moment without panic. He began to settle into his rhythm, letting punches glance off his guard, reading Rivera's timing, and preparing to respond in the way only experience allows. What followed was a masterclass in controlled pressure. Santa Cruz began investing in the body with surgical precision, digging hooks into Rivera's midsection, targeting the liver with a consistency that felt almost methodical. Each shot wasn't just meant to score, it was meant to wear down, to chip away, to slowly drain the resistance from a determined challenger. And yet, every time Santa Cruz attacked, his discipline remained intact. His hands returned quickly to his face, his defense tight, his structure unbroken. Rivera, however, refused to be a passive target. He adjusted, absorbing shots on his arms and gloves, waiting for openings to counter. There were moments where he slipped inside, firing back with clean hooks that caught the eye and reminded everyone watching that this fight was far from one-sided. His background as an engineer seemed to translate into his approach, calculated, thoughtful, always searching for the right moment to strike. But boxing doesn't always reward patience when facing a fighter like Santa Cruz. As the rounds progressed, the pace intensified. Santa Cruz's output began to climb, his combinations flowing with increasing confidence. He mixed levels beautifully, moving from head to body and back again, forcing Rivera to constantly adjust, constantly defend. The body shots, in particular, became a recurring theme, a steady drumbeat that echoed through every round. It wasn't flashy, but it was devastating in its consistency. By the third round, the difference in experience was beginning to show more clearly. Santa Cruz wasn't just fighting, he was constructing a fight, building it piece by piece. He pressed forward, backing Rivera up, refusing to give him space to breathe. Rivera, despite his courage, found himself reacting more than initiating, trying to find answers to a problem that kept evolving with every passing minute. And yet, there was something admirable in Rivera's resistance. He didn't fold under the pressure. He kept firing back, landing occasional hooks, showing flashes of the power that had brought him to this stage. There were exchanges where both men stood their ground, trading punches in tight quarters, neither willing to give an inch. Those moments electrified the atmosphere, reminding everyone why boxing, at its core, is as much about heart as it is about skill. Santa Cruz's advantage, however, extended beyond just skill. His reach, his size, and his ability to control distance played a crucial role. Rivera struggled at times to close the gap effectively, often falling short with his attacks, only to be met with counters that reinforced Santa Cruz's control. It was a subtle but significant factor. Every missed punch from Rivera was an opportunity for Santa Cruz to respond, to reassert dominance. As the fight moved into the middle rounds, the numbers told a story that was hard to ignore. Santa Cruz's punch output was relentless, with a significant portion of his landed shots targeting the body. It was a strategy that began to show its effects. Rivera's movement slowed slightly, his reactions just a fraction behind where they had been earlier. The accumulation of punishment, particularly to the midsection, was beginning to take its toll. Still, Rivera's corner urged him forward, encouraging him to increase the pressure, to take risks, to search for the kind of moment that could change everything. And for brief instances, he answered that call. He landed clean shots, sharp hooks that drew reactions, moments where it felt like he might be able to disrupt Santa Cruz's rhythm. But those moments were fleeting, quickly absorbed and answered by the champion's relentless pace. By the later rounds, Santa Cruz was firmly in control, but not complacent. He continued to press, continued to throw, his work rate climbing into extraordinary territory. Over 1,000 punches thrown, many delivered in rapid-fire combinations that resembled a machine gun more than a traditional boxing rhythm. It was suffocating, overwhelming, and incredibly difficult to counter. Rivera, to his credit, never stopped trying. Even as fatigue set in, even as the fight seemed to slip further from his grasp, he kept pushing forward, looking for openings, refusing to surrender to the narrative unfolding around him. There was a quiet defiance in his approach, a refusal to accept defeat before the final bell. The championship rounds brought a different kind of intensity. Rivera began to open up more, taking greater risks, throwing with more urgency. He knew time was running out, and if there was ever a moment to change the course of the fight, it was now. Santa Cruz, rather than retreating, met that challenge head-on. He welcomed the exchanges, standing his ground, trading punches with the same relentless energy that had defined his performance from the start. The crowd could feel it, the shift from calculated control to raw, unfiltered combat. The final moments of the fight became a showcase of pure heart, both fighters digging deep, throwing everything they had left. It wasn't about strategy anymore, it was about will. When the final bell rang, both men had gone the distance, their efforts etched into every second of the 12 rounds they had just endured. The scorecards told a clear story. Santa Cruz, with his consistency, his volume, and his control, had secured a unanimous decision victory. But the numbers alone couldn't capture the full essence of what had taken place. This was more than just a win for Santa Cruz. It was a reaffirmation of his place among the elite, a demonstration of the qualities that make him so difficult to beat. His ability to maintain pressure, to execute a game plan with discipline, and to adapt when necessary were all on display. For Rivera, the outcome may not have been in his favor, but his performance earned respect. He stepped into a situation few expected him to navigate successfully and proved that he belonged on this stage. He showed toughness, resilience, and a willingness to fight until the very end, qualities that resonate far beyond a single result. The end, this fight wasn't defined solely by who won or lost. It was defined by the battle itself, the exchanges, the adjustments, the moments of brilliance, and the displays of heart. It was a reminder of why boxing continues to captivate audiences around the world. What did you think of this incredible showdown? Did Rafael Rivera exceed your expectations, or did Leo Santa Cruz's dominance play out exactly as you predicted? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy deep cinematic breakdowns like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more unforgettable stories from the world of boxing.